Charlotte. We're going to get started a little early this morning. All right. First of all, welcome to Creative Mornings, Charlotte. I'm Matt Olin. I'm your host. I'm a freelance copywriter. I'm a husband. I'm a father, and I'm a citizen of Charlotte. And I love this town. And I love coexisting with all of you beautiful creative beings here, and pushing more compassion out into the world together. And certainly with all the storms brewing out there, not just political storms, not just polarizing storms, but obviously all the storms that are impacting Texas and Florida, and also, the earthquake that happened last night in Mexico, not too far from our speaker's home, Nelson's home. So let's just be pushing more compassion and love their way, not to mention our dollars. We do have the Salvation Army here this morning, so we do invite you to consider the value of these mornings and make a donation. And yes, and what is it? If you make a $50 donation to the Salvation Army to benefit the hurricane victims, you get a free Daybreak Legend t-shirt this morning. So there's that as a perk as well. But Nelson, we are sending love to your country, your family, and your friends, and everyone there in Oaxaca and all over Mexico. So how many people are here for the first time ever at a Creative Mornings event? Yeah! Oh man, I love seeing those hands up. Okay, cool. Well, welcome. We are here every month really to just connect in real life, to celebrate the creative spirit of our city, to celebrate the innate creativity in each one of us, and hopefully stir that up and send you back into your life, into your jobs, to your families, and to your communities with that stirred up, newfound creative energy. So that's why we gather together every month. What to expect? I mean, basically, we're going to be in here for about an hour, a little over an hour. We've got a lot to cover today. I usually only have one cheat sheet, but I actually have 2 or 3 cheat sheets in my pocket this morning. There's just a lot of moving parts this morning, a lot of stuff to announce and that sort of a thing. We're going to hear some music, we're going to play some games, give away some prizes, and of course we're going to hear a talk by our speaker today, Nelson Morales, who's visiting us from Mexico, artist in residence at the McCall Center for Art and Innovation, and he's going to be sharing his unique story around compassion and the way that he's using his particular art form to grow compassion in the world. So it's going to be really exciting to hear about that. Do not forget, of course, that, let me make sure my clicker's working. I always have issues with my clicker. There we go. Don't forget that you can keep your phones out. You can be tweeting about this using our hashtag #CharlotteIsCreative, following us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. And don't just feel like you got to use this hashtag here. Use it all month. When you're going around Charlotte and you're seeing creative things happening, take a picture of it, post it on social, and tag it with hashtag #CharlotteIsCreative, because it's just yet another way for us to celebrate the creative spirit of our city and all the great stuff that's happening here. And you're in good company, because we just found out about a week ago that a certain someone followed us on Twitter. Let's see if I can do this. Yes, the Mooch! Tim called us. Tim called me and said, guess who's following us on Twitter all of a sudden? So, if you're not following us on Twitter, join us. Join us. You'll be in great company. You'll be in great company. Anyway, I had to share that. He's got a lot of time on his hands right now, so he's following a lot of people, exactly. We gather together, as I said, we gather together every month to celebrate the creative spirit of our city, and we have this manifesto. That we love. It begins with everyone is creative. It ends with everyone is welcome, and it's got a lot of amazing stuff in there too. And the thing we want to point out today is that we're here to support you. Every time I go like this and it doesn't move, yeah, Lisa's got me. So one of the ways, I want to bring Tim Miner up here, because one of the ways we decided we want to start supporting our community. Woo! Oh, there's a little ebb and flow there.
I got a little bit of dancing in me from that last.
We just recently launched the HUG grants that the HUG stands for Helpful Unfettered Gift, and that is exactly what the year is intended to be. So we're about to give away our first round of hugs here this morning. So, Tim, Tell them about the sponsors too.
I will.
Okay.
This message is approved by Anthony Scaramucci. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tim Miner. I'm Matt's co-leader on Creative Mornings. Last month was, as Matt said, it was awesome to announce the HUG Grant program, and our initial plan was to give away two $250 grants to worthy creative projects in Charlotte, either for-profit or not-for-profit, every month. The plan has already changed, and that is because of the amazing, generous spirit of Charlotte. So T. Reed and Company, Tanya Reed's right over there, and Blair Primus, and my wife, and Blair Primus of Ortho Carolina jumped up and said, "2's not enough, let's do 4." Yes. So this month, 4 projects in Charlotte are gonna get a $250 micro grant. So yeah, come on, these are amazing projects. And what we were blown away with, we thought, are we gonna get 6 applications? Maybe. We got 22 applications. 21, if the 22nd one was someone who thought it was a Hugh Grant fan site. And that was my wife, I think, actually, who filled that one out, because she's seen Love Actually a lot of times. But 4 incredible projects. So, as Matt said, this is a good time to get out your phone. Tell everybody that you know who needs a little creative push, a little $250 to just get their idea moving, that the HUG Grant program is out there. And if you are interested in contributing and making it grow beyond 4 grants a month, please step up. But Tanya and Blair, these are incredible businesses in our community that are championing creativity.
Yep.
All right, so in interest of time, I'm going to announce the 4 winners this time. If you are someone who applied and were not granted a HUG grant this time, you're still in the running, and we will communicate with you. If you are somebody who knows someone, or you personally want to go after one, go to huggrant.com today and apply. Our first 4 winners are in reach for a creative puppetry show that they're going to do with disabled and special needs folks. Fashion and Compassion, which is a project where they teach people to make jewelry. Irisol Gonzalez Vega, who is an artist, she's here. If you would stand up, she's got a sculpture that she's making that we're going to help her with. And Queen City Growlers, through the little studio, are going to use it to buy a pottery wheel, I believe, so they can continue to teach pottery classes to people so they can learn ceramics. These are incredible. You know, we are trying to change the conversation in Charlotte. There are some amazing, big, gargantuan arts projects, and there are a lot of small personal efforts that are underway. We want to get behind all of them, so tell everybody you know about a HUG grant. All right, thanks, guys.
Yes, thank you, Tim. Thank you, T. Reed. Thank you, North Carolina. Thank you guys for applying, and congratulations to our first 4. Actually, it's actually our first one was actually Shakespeare in a chair. We went rogue. We went off book and gave our first one to Shakespeare in a chair. Mark Williams is here somewhere. So, oh, there he is. So congratulations, everyone. That's a new tradition that we'll be having a part of every morning, and one of our other favorite traditions is to invite up a local band or musician to play like a new song that they're working on or that they've released, and this morning is no exception. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Charlotte Star Room Music Stage, Jason Jett, everybody. Come on up, Jason.
So this piece I want to do for you guys, this is a new song. It's called Broken Black Faces. And I wrote it last summer around the time of Keith Lamont Scott's death here in Charlotte. And I just felt like it was time to create something for our people that would just motivate and strengthen our culture. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It's one of my favorite songs. So here we go. No, I can't deal with all this hatred. I wish I could save us from broken black faces. Maybe we should build us a nation, get us off that slave ship so we can go places. This is our time. This is our time. Oh, this is our time. This is our time. Oh, Shout out to the moms who lost sons. I know your world's upside down, but don't worry no more. Just know that love's in the air, and it's always been there. No need to be scared. When will things change? Things are still the same. Still fighting for me.
We also have one other tradition we're going to do, and then we'll move on to the main event. But yeah, we have the Providence Day School Global Shout Out. This is Providence Day School has stepped up and said we want to sponsor those global shout outs because they're a global school. Okay, here we go. 1, 2.
Hey y'all! Good morning from Charlotte!
Champs! All right, obviously we are exploring the theme of compassion. This was a theme chosen by our friends at the chapter in Helsinki. Now, without any further ado, we're going to bring up the main event, Nelson. Let me tell you a little bit about Nelson first. And before I do, I want to thank a few people that helped make this possible. Mary Beth Simon, Blair Primus, Armando Belmas, and Ellen Blevins. All of them played a special role in helping bring Nelson to our September meeting and having him be our speaker. So thank you to them, and thank you to our teammate, Monica Reef, who is our team interpreter and has worked a lot in the preparation for this as well. So a round of applause for all of those folks who really helped us make this happen. So Nelson Morales is a photographer. He focuses on sexual diversity in different cultures, mainly the Muche community, a third gender in part of the state of Oaxaca. Morales was a student of leaders of contemporary photography in Mexico, and he earned a BA in communications at Universidad Jose Vasconcelos. His work has been exhibited in the US, Mexico, Malaysia, Spain, and the Netherlands, and in collections such as the Televisa Foundation, Nail Hollis, and Foam. Morales is a recipient of the 2015-2016 Young Creators Fellowship of the National Fund for Culture and the Arts. He obviously is a current resident at the McCall Center for Art and Innovation. And it's actually, he's also a part of this really cool initiative called In Focus Enfoque, Contemporary Photography in Mexico, which is a cross-venue partnership funded by Bank of America, which is really encouraging partnerships among the visual arts institutions and promoting increased cultural dialogue and understanding in Charlotte. And Alan Blevins has been a huge part of bringing that to life. So I will stop and let's just bring Nelson up and hear from him. Ladies and gentlemen, here to speak to us on our global theme of compassion, please welcome Nelson Morales, everyone.
Hi. Good morning. How you feel today? I feel great too. It's something new for me. I feel so excited. I feel a little nervous, but excited. Yeah. Well, my name is Nelson Morales. I'm from Unión Hidalgo, a small town in the east of Oaxaca. Today I wake up, I have a bad news because earthquake, and very strong earthquake, and I want to say all my people power and compassion, and give the applause to my people. I remember that when I was a child, I liked to sing, dance, and paint. I wanted to be an artist. I wasn't sure if I would become an artist, but I used to dream about it. During my childhood, there were many obstacles and losses in my family. My mother had to work hard to get us through. My father was not much with us, and over the last years, they separated. It was a difficult moment in our lives. However, today, we have a cordial relationship. This is my lovely family. Next. This is my mom, my aunt, my uncle, my sister, my nieces, and my brother. This is the 15 years of marriage of my uncles. During my adolescence, I liked to collect magazines about artists, music, and fashion. However, what mostly caught my attention were the portraits of the artists on them. I also liked to add pictures in my cousin's photo albums. I was not sure if I would become in the future, but something was very clear: my love for photography. I studied mass communication at Oaxaca City. I remember that I was very creative, I was a very creative student. Once, one of my teachers told me that I had good eye for photography. However, I was not sure what I would do like for a living. After a few years, I started working doing office work, but I wasn't happy with what I was doing. I wanted to be a photographer, but I didn't know how to start doing that. I did not have a personal camera. Then I got a job where I worked 15 days and rested another 15 days, so I bought my first camera. And I have time to spend taking pictures of my culture, of my region. It was something very special. I felt connected with my cultural roots, and that made me very happy. I began to go to small exhibitions to become more interested in everything related to photography. I started going to the photo conference and looking for information about visual arts. Suddenly, I got attracted by a very famous photograph of Graciela Iturbide, called Magnolia. Graciela Iturbide is one of the most famous photographers in Mexico. She's alive now. Magnolia is a portrait of Amushe of Juchitán, a small city very close to my town. What is Amushe? The Mushe culture has been present before the Hispanic arrival in the Isthmus of Tehuantepec, Oaxaca. Amushe is a male person born who can express his femininity starting at a young age. The mother supports him to become a Amushe. She is the first one that encourages him to make the first step. Amushe dresses as a woman, acts as a woman, feels as a woman. There can be waitresses, maids, stylists, businesswomen, and also can obtain political positions. It is said that Amushe is a blessing for the parents, since they do not marry, and when the Mushe's parents get old, Mushes will take care of them until they die. Although Mexico is a macho country, in the Isthmus of Oaxaca, people is a little bit more tolerant to Mushes than elsewhere in Mexico. They continue fighting to be recognized as a third gender. Not men, not women, only a Mushe. An idea that goes beyond the feminization of the body is a way Mushe, who dresses as a woman, is like of thinking a posture to life. For us, the Zapotecs, there exists types of Mushes. One of them is the Mushe who dresses as a woman and wants to be a woman. The other type of Mushe does not dress like a woman, like me, for example. The old Mushe, the small Mushe or Mushe kid, and the Mushe who arrived to my town to visit know and live the Mushe culture. As a personal experience, I can tell you that since I recognized my sexuality, I felt a great rejection of Mushe culture, since I did not want to be like them. I totally refused to look like a woman. I was very afraid to be rejected, and I had to fight a lot with myself to accept me the way I was. I went to the University of the city of Oaxaca. After I finished, I went to more in Mexico City. I still did not make photographs. And later, the destiny made me return to my town with camera in hand. The first click was magical. I never forget it. I began to reconcile with my culture to enjoy its festivals and traditions through photography. Once, one of my friends invited me to do some photographs for a group of amushes who were participating in a video contest. At first, I hesitated to do so. However, that picture of Magnolia, taken by Graciela Iturbide, came to my mind, and I thought I could do something similar. So I agreed to do the photo shoot. This is the pictures. After those photo shoots, I gave myself the chance to get to know the mushes a little bit more. I felt that compassion or affinity for them for being different. So I decided to continue photographing them. That first set black and white photographs seemed really beautiful to me, very classic, and I wanted to know the opinion of the experts. I sent those images to a photo critic in Mexico City, and he told me, if I really wanted to be a photographer, I had to take better pictures. I feel frustrated, sad, and angry. I started to reflect on whether to quit or continue doing photographies. I also questioned myself if I have enough talent to succeed. Well, actually, this is something that I keep asking myself all the time. Many people told me that I was wrong about doing photography. They told me that becoming a good photographer was almost impossible. They told me to try it's a hobby. They also warned me that living from art was very complicated. It's really complicated. But I did not stop dreaming of my future. While working, I wanted to take pictures, show my photos. One day, a good friend sent me an invitation for an international photo contest. I did not hesitate to my man to send mine about mushes. Surprisingly, I got another mention, and my photos were exhibited in large format. Because of my office work, I could not attend the exhibition. So that drove me to leave my job and devote myself completely to photography. It has been a long, complicated journey, sometimes frustrating, sometimes sad process. In every step I take in my career, I never forget those moments. I try to not forget who I am and where I come from. Today I'm here sharing with you this incredible moment. I continued documenting Musha's life, their process of transformation, the interaction with their families to truly seek and discover their beauty and secrets. During the annual Festival of Mushes, I decided to do my first exhibition in my town square. Many people like it, and others consider it offensive. It made me think I could do a lot to make a better, compassionate place for them. This is the exhibition. I decided to study more seriously. I wanted to learn about photography. I started to take some workshops to know who the leaders in Mexico photography scene were, and to decide how to differentiate my projects from other similar projects. It was not an easy job. It wasn't fast either. The only thing that I knew that I had to keep working in photography and trust myself. My relationship with the mushes grew and flowed more and more mushes wanted to be photographed by me, and some of the images were published and exhibited, but I felt that something was missing in my project. It was until I took a workshop with a famous Magnum photographer. It was the first time I was part of a photograph with mushes. I was part of the scene. It was very sensual interaction with them. I felt that something exploded in my creative process. It was an impulse to go beyond taboos and censorship, accepting and exploring my own body and sexual identity, which made me become free and happy person. In each following photo sessions, I let everything flow. I let mushes direct the scene sometimes. We started to have fun, and the result challenged the viewer with newly fresh pictures. During the last years, I have explored the fascinating and complex world of mushe culture, entering their dreams, fantasies, and challenge. At the same time, I understood that I had to seek my own sexual identity through self-portraits, to accept myself the way I am, to face my mistakes and face life without fear, and always live with passion and dedication. Before, I felt melancholy and compassion for not achieving my goals quickly enough. Today I see things differently. I understand that you need lots of faith in yourself, not to lose the goal. Fight day by day, I never be defeated. I still feel a bit of insecurity and uncertainty. However, I must continue to working on it. I have traveled some countries to present my image, places such as Mexico, Colombia, Spain, and Netherlands. I have also explored other gay communities in the world, such as Colombian Amazon. It was a great experience to find a community very similar to the Mushes. Now, I'm here in Charlotte, doing this residency program at McCall Center. I want to thank McCall Center and Bank of America for this opportunity to let me continue my projects in this city. I want to continue researching the issues of sexual diversity community here in Charlotte, especially with Latino people who have left their countries and are here in the US fighting for their dreams and longings. I think it's a good opportunity to start this journey here in Charlotte, which the last days have received me in a very good way. I invite you to visit me at McCall Center during the upcoming open studio sessions. I would like to say we must be most compassionate with people who are different and think differently in order to make a better world. And finally, I want to say, we need more dreamers who inspire us. Thank you for being here this morning.
Nelson Morales, everybody!
Gracias. Thank you so much. Gracias.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you. We actually have time for a little bit of Q&A before we wrap, and I'm going to have our team interpreter on hand with a mic. Yep, exactly. So if anyone has a question for Nelson, please ask it. There's one back there. So I'll run the mic back, and then you can. Okay.
Honey, do you give makeup lessons?
No. You can say it. No, pero quiero. I want it.
No, but I want to.
More questions for Nelson. Here's one way back there. Here we go. My workout. Who is it? Oh, here we go.
What advice would you give to a 7-year-old version of yourself?
¿Qué quería decir a la persona si usted era de 7 años? ¿Qué diría?
Repeat the question, please.
¿Qué diría para usted si usted tenía 7 años? Si estaba chiquito de 7 años, ¿qué diría?
¿Qué diría?
Yeah.
¿Pero sobre qué?
About what?
Just yeah, sort of like general advice, like to your childhood self.
Solo si usted era crianza, ¿qué diría para usted para puede crecer bien?
Mucho amor, mucha compasión.
Lots of love, lots of compassion.
Ya, no sé, como... Yo creo que el amor es lo más importante.
And I don't know, but I think that love is the most important.
Beautiful. More questions in the back here. Braxton.
You mentioned that Oaxaca is a bit more compassionate to folks that are maybe a bit different. What is it like in other parts that aren't as compassionate for this community? And what kind of issues do they face that is different than what you experience in Oaxaca?
¿Entendió?
Sí, bueno, en Oaxaca la gente es un poco más abierta a este tipo de temas,
So in Oaxaca, the people are more open to these types of topics.
a pesar de que México es un país muy machista.
Although Mexico is a very machismo country,
Y es un ejemplo para que las otras países o ciudades sean un poco más tolerantes y acepten a las personas como son.
and it's an example for the other areas so that they can accept people as they are and to have more compassion.
Por eso tenemos que trabajar, que pelear por
And that's
nuestros
why we
derechos.
have to work and to fight for our rights.
More questions for Nelson. Any more? Yep, here's one there.
Have you started at the McCall Center, and what is your studio like? What are you going to do in your studio?
Bueno, en mi estudio voy a tener pequeños shows.
So in my studio, I'm going to have small art shows.
Cada mes hay como un open studio, ustedes pueden ir.
Each month, there's an open studio. Everyone's welcome.
Y aquí en Charlotte voy a trabajar con la comunidad latina,
And here in
específicamente,
Charlotte, I'm going to work with the Hispanic community,
pero con la comunidad LGBTQ.
but with the LGBTQ
Y
community.
pueden ir a visitarnos a mí y a los de otros artistas que vienen de varias partes de aquí, de Estados Unidos y de Canadá.
And you can come visit me and other artists there at the McCall Center from places in the United States and Canada.
El día 14 es el opening
The opening is the 14th
a las 6 de la tarde
at 6 p.m.
y espero que todos
And I
vayan.
hope that everyone comes.
Yeah. Is there one over here? Yep, over here.
Hi, I know you said one of the main reasons is to take care of family. And when your mom and your dad are then gone, what do they do after that? Do they seek out other families that need compassion and love?
Ok, es,
Que sé que usted quiere, los muchos van a
Sí.
ayudar la mamá y papá, pero cuando usted se va, entonces ¿qué van a hacer?
es un poco triste porque los musos se quedan solos,
It's a little sad because the Mushes are alone,
pero es parte como de nuestro destino, de nuestra vida.
but it's part of our destiny, of our life.
Por eso creo que tenemos que hacer más relaciones y conexiones con toda la familia,
That's why we have to make other relationships and other connections with the rest of the family,
para nunca estar solos, porque
so
estar
that
solo
we're never
lo-
alone.
es algo muy malo que te puede pasar, estar solo.
Because to be alone is something really horrible to be.
Sí, muchos dicen que es el paraíso
Lots of people say that it's paradise,
de los gays,
that it's the paradise of the gay people,
the paradise mushe.
the Mushes.
pero no todo es felicidad. No todo es felicidad.
But not everything is happiness.
A veces solo vemos lo que aparece en las fiestas, en las redes sociales,
Sometimes we only see what we see at parties and at social occasions.
pero realmente los mushes se quedan solos y eso es
But-
algo muy triste.
In reality, a lot of the mushes end up alone, and that's really
Por
sad.
eso debemos hacer comunidad y unirnos.
That's why we need to create that community.
Okay, final question over here.
So you spoke about the Mushas feeling alone. And I feel that art, especially your art, has the power to create community. So what kind of feedback have you heard from the Mushas and the LGBT community in terms of how your artwork has affected them?
Okay, ¿sí entendí? Yo quiero que más muchos participen en el proyecto
I want to have a lot more people involved in this project
porque es una manera de expresarse y de sumarse
because it's a way to express oneself,
y es una manera que ellos pueden ser reconocidos.
and it's a way that they can be recognized.
O sea, la batalla no está ganada,
The fight isn't over.
seguimos luchando
We're going to continue fighting,
y por eso es importante mostrarlo a otras ciudades que son muy intolerantes.
and that's why it's important to show the other cities who are intolerant.
Y esperemos que el trabajo se pueda difundir en muchos otros lugares.
And we hope that this project is going to be funded in many other communities.
Y nos visiten, por supuesto.
And please visit.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you for your questions. Monica, our beautiful Creative Mornings teammate, thank you for interpreting. And Nelson, thank you for your work. Thank you for delivering your talk in English. That was very impressive. And congratulations on the residency.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nelson Morales, everybody. And it doesn't have to stop there, because Tim and I are going to interview, have another continued conversation with Nelson on the Charlotte is Creative podcast, which you can hear in about 10 days on Charlotte 5. Next month, on October 6th, we'll be right here again. Our theme is Pioneer. We'll be speaking with Hallie Bowen, who launched Skill Pop. So to hear her pioneering story is going to be pretty awesome. I will also tease you on this. Back in April, we did an April Fool's joke saying that we were going to launch Creative Midnights, and a bunch of people thought that was a cool idea. So we're actually going to have a one-off Creative Midnights event later in October at the very top of Museum Tower in Uptown Charlotte. 200 people can attend, and we will send more information out when that is, as the date approaches, but we wanted to tease you with that a little bit. Creative Midnights. It will be, by the way, breakfast for dinner, just so you know. Breakfast for dinner. Who doesn't love that? Could I please call my team up here? I want you all to just recognize them and all the time and creativity and energy that they put into making these mornings possible. I love these guys. They are the absolute best. And a special shout out to Chrissy Mickler. Where's Chrissy? Our quarterback. Woo! Thank you all so much. More compassion in this world and for those that need it, which really is all of us. But just keep pushing it out there, and we'll see you all next month. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you. See you in October.